criminal aliens, in many cases drug lords, murderers all over our country. They're blocking the removal of these people out of our country, and you should be ashamed of yourself.
I can honestly say I thought that was the most powerful, most America embodied, most America inspirational, most America first and most America forward speech I've ever heard in my entire life, and I'm going to share with you the abomination of the Democrats. If you thought the last State of the Union was bad when they sat down for our poorer, a great amazing Americans, one of whom was diagnosed with cancer, they sat down for an American citizen who had cancer and they got all that. Backlash last night was even worse, and I think it's actually a good thing because it exposes them for who they truly are. When someone tells you who they are, you should always listen and pay attention. I think this is going to be the greatest election that I've ever seen. If you missed the entire speech, we went live last night. You can watch it on my channel, my YouTube channel. I'll leave it in the pinned comment in the description down below and the show notes if you want to go watch the entire speech. I got very rusty, I got very passionate during it. I was yelling, I was screaming, I was emotional. If you don't want any of that, then don't watch it. If you just want the speech, you can find it elsewhere. If you want my commentary and my reaction, then go check it out. But I think the pivotal moment, hey, I'm going to share a couple of clips. What you just saw at the top was the cackling unqualified Mokes, mentally ill Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib, whatever the hell terrorists you are, I forget her name, I don't even care, but I'm going to share with you a pivotal moment and a couple of reactions, including from John Fetterman and Speaker Johnson. But the pivotal moment that I think this is this ad right here. Watch this, where President Trump says very simply, if you believe in this statement, this is it right here. This is the apex. If you believe in this statement, then show your support by standing up. What do you think happened? Watch.
Tonight, I'm inviting every legislator to join with my administration in reaffirming a fundamental principle. If you agree with this statement, then stand up and show your support. The first duty of the American government is to protect American citizens, not illegal aliens. Isn't that a shame? You should be ashamed of yourself not standing up. You should be ashamed of yourself.
I truly believe that video should be played ad infinitum. I mean daily, weekly, hourly, up until the midterms. That's exactly who they are. And look at that piece of garbage, mutineer, act of sedition, treasonous rat, Mark Kelly sitting there. That's the look of a man right there who just realized my entire soul has been eradicated by this demonic cult called the Hippocrats. Not one Democrat stood, well, maybe a couple, I couldn't really see him perfectly, but the majority of them sat down for a simple actual part of their oath of office to represent the United States of America. American citizens, they sat down for you and me. They stand up and fight for the worst scum of the earth, argo confirming that the Democrats only care about one thing, retaining power. And how are they going to retain power? It was the plan all along. Vegetable and Chief Biden fake borders are. Why do you think he assigned the border to Kamala, the least qualified DEI hire known to existence? They planned on winning in 2024. That's why they threw sham trials, sham trial. They tried to debank him, deface him, to discredit him, imprison him, assassinate him. They thought there's no way in a million years he's going to become president. We're going to win, and the plan is the great replacement plan from Obama. That's it. They can't win elections from American citizens like you and me. So instead of modifying their plans and going, wait a minute, maybe we should actually, it's in our actual constitution that we are meant to serve, were public servants, they work for us. You'll instead of taking just a little 5-second reflection, little introspection, let's take a little inventory here. Maybe we should change a few things up. No, well, just import our voters. They don't like what we're doing. They don't like our policies, which is what putting a men and women's sports and are violating our mothers and daughters and grandmothers' bathrooms, locker rooms and gyms, are hiring the worst person for the job just based on color, which is discrimination, which is the most racist thing ever in DEI. The list goes on and on. No, they don't like that. Well, just import our voters. That's it, folks, pure and simple. Or I want to share with you what J.D. Vance beautifully remarked this morning, and where he revealed that this was the most cowardly thing has ever seen. Watch what J.D. Vance has to say about this, then come on back, because I want to share with you one beautiful moment, another beautiful moment from the speech where he calls out the Democrats' hypocrisy on voter ID, and then CNN drops a poll that's going to blow your mind. CNN, a woke network, drops a poll showing what Americans think of President Trump's speech. Again, him calling it the greatest political speech I've ever seen, period. So come on back for that. Here's J.D. Vance.
I saw a couple of things, Bill. First of all, obviously most Democrats didn't stand up or clap, and what a shame that is. What a sad commentary that is on the Democratic Party, that the idea that the American government should stand for American citizens, not illegal aliens, that shouldn't be controversial, but apparently it was to the Democrats. But I will say, Bill, something that I saw that probably most TV viewers didn't see was really the cowardice, because there were a few Democrats who sort of politely clapped. They didn't want to stand up. I guess maybe they were worried about being primaried by the far left fringe of their party. But they were all looking around. They weren't actually saying, you know what, I'm going to stand and support this because this is a common sense, obvious statement. They were all looking around for cues from their colleagues because they didn't have the courage to stand on their own. And that, more than anything, Bill, is the saddest commentary on the Democratic Party, that not only will they not stand for the idea that Americans should come first, they won't even have the courage of their convictions. They lean on the person to their left and their right rather than actually have some conviction. That is unfortunately what's true about Democrats in Washington.
Senator Mike Lee commented, saying, I've been to 16 of these. I've never seen Republicans behave like this during a Democrat State of the Union. Never yet. The mainstream media says nothing. Why? And are not going to play that clip again because it's abhorrent of mentally ill Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib, ISIS terrorist fake representative hypocrites who are yelling at President Trump all sorts of obscenities, acting like two-bit hecklers. I'm not going to play it, but what I am going to play is this moment. Right here. There were so many powerful moments, but this one right here I think is another powerful moment regarding the hypocrisy of the SAVE Act. President Trump calls out NYC commie Mayor Mom Donnie. I did a whole video on this for requiring 2 forms of ID and a social security card to shovel snow, but when it comes to the number one act you can commit as a citizen of a sovereign nation which has the most consequences, it's voting in elections. No, we don't need ID. Watch this.
And even the new communist mayor of New York City, I think he's a nice guy, actually. Speak to him a lot. Bad policy, but nice guy. Just said they want people to shovel snow. They got hit hard. Wants them to shovel snow, but if you apply for that job, you need to show 2 original forms of ID and a social security card. Yet they don't want identification for the greatest privilege of them all, voting in America. No, it's no good. No good. Both Republicans and Democrats overwhelmingly agree on the policy that we just enunciated. And Congress should unite and enact this common sense, country-saving legislation right now, and it should be before anything else happens.
You know, J.D. Vance is right. I mean, when I was watching this live last night, I could tell that the Democrats were just completely lost. I mean, they have no spine, they have no soul, they have no conviction, they are utter minions and automatons controlled, probably, my guess is, by Obama. The elites, the Soros, the backers always follow the money, my grandfather used to say. But I want to wrap it up with this amazing clip. Even CNN had to admit that Americans were blown away by Trump's speech. This is an awesome. It's probably not even accurate. I think it's probably even higher, but watch this. This is beautiful.
Speech watchers tonight, 64% say his policies will move the U.S. in the right direction. And look at the growth President Trump made over the speech. So pre-speech, it was 54% of speech watchers said his policies will move the U.S. in the right direction. After the speech, that number goes up 10 percentage points. So Donald Trump made some progress with people watching the speech from their pre-speech expectations to what they saw in the speech.
So that's a CNN poll. Also, I just wanted to share this too. The Democrats did not stand for Irina Zaruza's mother, whose daughter was brutally slain by a multiple repeat. This guy had been arrested 18, 20, 50 times, God knows, let out by Democrat activist judges, supported by Democrats. Not one word in the mainstream media when it happened, and they didn't stand up. And President Trump replied, how do you not stand? How can you not stand for a woman, an innocent woman who's from Ukraine, by the way, so it just proves their hypocrisy. It just cements their absolute shitty legacy. Pardon my language. I can't wait to get your thoughts on all of this. Do you agree with me that ad where the Democrats sat down when President Trump asked a simple question relating to your oath of office as a public servant, as a representative of Americans, that you should always support American citizens first before illegals, and none of them stood? Do you agree with me? Quick question, that would be the greatest election out of all time? Let me know in the comments down below. Please tap that thumbs up, make this go viral. We want to make common sense go viral. That's what our mission here, and you can help just by tapping the thumbs up and sharing this with everyone. Here's the full speech. If you want to watch it right here, I highly recommend that. Tap my face right here to subscribe and follow. It doesn't cost you a thing, and as always, may God bless you and God bless the USA and all who defend her position.